environment, your community, your state, and your country, because it's, as we have been repeatedly told, it's our responsibility to keep Nigeria safe. It's our responsibility to keep our state safe. It's our responsibility to keep our communities safe. A lot has been happening in recent times. There is no shying away from it, particularly with respect to security breaches here and there in and around the nation's capital. And as you would expect, it's not as if nothing is being done with regard to how to curb all of this to ensure that we all get to move about, leave our homes, go to our workspaces or any other place we want to go, and go back safely. A lot has been done, and that's why this morning we have invited the man that is fit for the job, the man that, of course, when you get to hear from him, you will agree with me that we couldn't have invited a better person to come tell us what's been happening and what is being done regarding what's been happening in the nation's capital, particularly with respect to issue of security. Good morning, Dr. Peter Olumoji.
Good morning.
Dr. Peter Olumoji is the Secretary, FCTA Security Department Command and Control Center. That unit is in charge of coordinating security operations generally in the nation's capital from the point of view of the FCTA. Now, let's start from the start, Dr. Peter. I'm sure you also acknowledge the fact that recently there has been a rise, so to speak, in number of breaches, particularly with respect to kidnap for ransom, attack on villagers, particularly in areas of Buari Area Council and some parts of Gwagwalada and also Kuji, and very recently in Dutse. How is the administration responding to all of this?
Good morning once again, viewers. I want to say here that the administration, under the leadership of the Minister of FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike, is not too happy with some developments that have occurred in recent time. In fact, I can tell you without missing word that the Minister of FCT on a daily basis ensure that he gets updates on efforts being carried out by the various security agencies in the nation's capital. His heart bleeds. He feels so bad and so sad. And he feels the concern of the FCT residents. Because when you are in your home and some elements come to abduct your family members, it's not something that one can be happy over. And that is why he has ordered, since those incidences occur, that the security agencies give him an hourly update on the rescue mission, to ensuring that these abducted good residents of FCT are back home safe and sound. And I must tell you, as we celebrate the Armed Forces Remembrance Day, our heart goes out to those innocent children who are out there in an open field with those abductors that are meant to be part of the residents and citizens of this great nation. But they've decided to cause pain to some of us. I think there's no sensitive government that will be happy with that. And that is the stand of the FCT minister and every member of the administration. We feel sad over that.
All right. Beyond feeling sad over all of this, are there efforts being made to ensure that in the first instance, these guys are identified from their planning stage and nipped in the bud, so that we don't get to feel sad again and again and again, as has been the case over the couple of weeks in the past?
Yes, the FCT security agencies under the FCT Commissioner of Police is the lead agency when it comes to internal security and other sister agencies. And I've been working around the clock in gathering intelligence, actionable intelligence, and ensuring that such nefarious acts of these criminally minded persons is not carried out. But unfortunately, they might not tell you so many other record stories they've been able to name for it not to even occur. It's just these isolated cases that is out there that people get to think that the agencies are not working. It's just like a football match. You know, no matter hard your team plays, if they don't get the 3 points needed
at the end of
for that match, every other person will tell them, look, you've done nothing.
You've done nothing.
And that is the dilemma of the various security agencies. They work around the clock, they don't sleep. I can attest to that. They don't sleep, they go around on patrol, they gather intelligence, they put machinery in motion to nip any untoward incident happening in FCT. And they've been able to record a lot of successes in that. But you know, like I gave example, in a football match, once you don't get the 3 points, no matter the effort, the goalkeeper, the striker, the defender are put in place, they will tell you, oh, you have done nothing. And that is where the security agencies find themselves. Because of those abductions that took place, it's as if the agencies are not working. But I must tell you, a lot of record stories have been recorded behind the scene that people don't even know about. Because if you look at it critically, I tell people during the festive period and even into the new year, when people try to whip up sentiment that the FCT is not safe, so many places where phone seekers went to, you know, people were there in their mass, and people were transversing the FCT safely. But you know, those incidences of abduction is as if it's like a stain on a white garment that have just happened. So I can tell you that it pains every one of us. It pains the administration because the minister wants to bestow a secured city to every resident. That is his paramount aim. You know?
Okay, now if you look at it, FCT is bordered by states such as Nasarawa, of course, Kaduna, Niger, and some parts of Kogi, as you already know. Are there collaborations between the security agencies here and those ones in those contiguous states? Because we understand how these criminals move. They reside in some of these neighboring states, come into the FCT, operate, and then they easily move out because of the pressure of the security operatives in the nation's capital. Is there an ongoing, or there is already a structure in place where there is a collaboration among the security agencies?
Yes, there is an existing structure under the G7 initiative, you know, whereby the 6 states contiguous to the FCT, you know, are collaborating. The Commissioner of Police of this state, Benue, Kogi, Kaduna, Niger, Nasarawa, you know, and Plateau. They've been collaborating, the Commissioner of Police at that strategic level. Also, the State Director of the DSS too, they've also been collaborating, and also the commandants of the various NCDC commands in this state. They've been meeting, they've been looking at how to really tackle this cross-border crime, you know. And you know also that the FCT has the gas brigade here in the FCT, in the nation's capital, and all other security agencies that have been working tirelessly to ensuring that, because the major challenge is coming from the border community. That's, you know, look at the Niger state, look at Kaduna, look at Kogi, look at Nasarawa. Most of these attacks on come from that perimeter, you know. And again, we also realize that some of these bordering community to FCT, when things happen even in other states, people mistakenly say this is in FCT. And that's one challenge we also have, because I've seen a report by a journalist whereby the journalist was reporting, he was talking about FCT security, and the interview was based in another state that is not FCT, and the people he was interviewing were in another state, and they even said it out. So that is another variable that we have been trying to making sure that people understand that some of these incidences that occur do not occur in FCT, but because they share boundary with the FCT.
I think we can mention specifics, like the one incident in Buhari.
Yes, like Buhari now.
Buhari, where you have Garam, Kuduru, and all of those Niger State.
You know, if you look at Garam now, Garam is in Niger State.
Yes.
If you also look at there's this school, this private polytechnic in Niger State, at Kuduru side.
Yes.
You know, we have Kuduru in FCT. We also have Kuduru in Niger State. You know, and that incident that occurred in Kuduru, that is in Niger State. But naturally, people say, "Oh, it is FCT." Garam is not in FCT. Garam is in Niger State. But people believe Garam. Most people believe Garam is in FCT. If you look at Kagauko, Kagauko is in Kaduna. You know, and Kagauko is not in FCT. But when incidences occur there, most of the journalists, I respect the media, the journalists, but some of them don't really carry out proper investigation on before reporting. They just term it FCT. Maybe that sensational headline for their paper to sell, or for their media.
Abuja
you know, even Abuja is not safe. Like an incident that occurred in New Karo, Nasarawa State, just of recent, where a supermarket was attacked. The headline in almost all the media houses was that place is Abuja. You know, so these are part of the challenges. Notwithstanding, FCT has its own pocket of security challenges too, which the security agencies have been working tirelessly. I must tell you, one basic thing we should know is that even the security agencies too pay the supreme price.
Of course.
In securing FCT.
Of course.
These are stories that you don't see out there.
True.
I know of police officers who have died in the course of securing FCT within the space of 3 weeks. You know, people don't talk about it. Nobody wants to care. And these same people too have family, they have children that have been left over. And they have rights to life too. But again, I want the residents of FCT to take note of something. There's no way an incident will occur within your vicinity that somebody will not have seen something before then. That somebody will not have had something. And from arrests that have been made, because I can tell you with facts that the FCT Police Command have arrested some suspects in terms of this abduction. In fact, so two suspects were arrested in connection to Kuje Kwale abduction. You know, and these people that were arrested were residents of the same community.
Wow.
Residents of the same community. So at times when you hear all these incidences occur, there are informants within the community. Some of them are fueled by people from that community. You understand? And that is why we always talk about when you see something, say something. There's a need for you to know your neighbor. How well do you know your neighbor? Most people don't care. They just believe life is all about them alone.
Okay, although you're already touching that aspect, I was going to ask you what should citizens do going forward. But some of the issues you have raised concerning even journalists mistaking communities that are bothering FCT because of the weight that FCT carries in our stories, they just find a way to rope it in and you know, put it on FCT. Is this now a further call for the FCT to enhance its collaboration with the sister security agencies in the neighboring states? Because at the end of the day, whether you reside in Niger State or you reside in Abuja, you are a citizen of Nigeria who is entitled to right to life, right to safety in the first instance. So it shouldn't matter whether you are in Abuja or you are in Niger or Nasarawa or Kaduna, as the case may be. Is this now a further call for even the state to seek out the FCT and the FCT to also seek them out to enhance that structure that you say has been on ground,
yes.
But for particular regard to border security.
Yes. Yes, you know, before I answer your question, I still also want to advise our media practitioner to also carry out due diligence before reporting incidences, because when you focus more on creating tension and apprehension within the nation's capital, it makes people not to be comfortable.
True.
It makes people not to feel Abuja is safe. But I can tell you, Abuja is relatively safe. Now, going back to the question you've asked also, the FCT under the G7 initiative always carry majority of the burden. Yes, hands of fellowship have been extended to the various state governments, which they've also assured that they are going to improve on whatever they are bringing to the table. Because like you said, the security of every human being in Nigeria, in any state of the federation, is sacrosanct. And one cardinal objective of governance is the security and safety of lives and property. Apart from the welfare. Now, like I made mention on earlier on, that the security agencies are really collaborating. There's this synergy that is going on. And one beautiful thing that takes place even within the FCT security sector is that the various security agencies work as a team. And this has helped them to achieving a lot of progress. But like I made mention of, which I always want to emphasize, it's just like the football match. If you don't get the 3 points needed in winning a match, no matter the effort the striker, the defender, the goalkeeper have put in place, people don't see it. And I don't blame them. I don't blame the residents. They have that right of life.
And to demand that they be protected.
And to demand from the government that they be protected. And the government is doing all it takes to ensuring that every resident of FCT is protected. So that collaborative effort is there. And with what has even happened in these few days, you know, the IG of police is interested in these abduction cases. You know, even some few days ago, the first PRO even mentioned, talked about it and told us what the police hierarchy has in place in ensuring that these victims are rescued unhurt. Because one thing we should also know is that in as much as we are feeling agitated as residents, you also look at how the rescue operation will be carried out. You can't just burst into that place because you want to please the residents and go there, and at the end of the day there will be collateral damage on the victims. So it is a strategic effort, you know, and a lot of things is being done behind the scene. People will not expect that the Nigerian police, FCT command, will come and tell you the strategy they have in place in ensuring that. That is what most people want to hear. But what I want to tell you here today is that they are working day and night. And I want to assure the residents of FCT that within the next few weeks, you will see those victims are rescued unhurt.
Yes. We are happy to hear this from you. But now, following some of these developments, there has now also been, because human beings naturally, when there is always a cause and effect, following these developments, kidnapping and attacks here and there, some communities have now resorted to self-help. By forming community vigilantes and all of that. Reports are even that some of these people are even armed, so to speak. Now, what is the position of the FCT administration, particularly your department, with respect to the existence or the formation of vigilante groups to complement the effort of the conventional security architecture?
Yes, you know, the vigilante group as non-state actors have been in existence even in time immemorial. You know, even while we are growing up in our various villages, we have this vigilante group that secure the environment. And I remember last year the vigilante group of Nigeria had this their conference in the FCT. And after the conference, one of one of the demand is that they should be allowed to also play a key role in complementing what the state actors are doing in terms of security. And the FCT administration is very, very interested in that. And they are working on that modalities for them to be more pronounced. We have these vigilante groups in border communities that really do not have, because you should also take note that the policeman is not a spirit.
He's not.
And the manpower of the police has been depleted over the years. In fact, the IG of recent talked about more recruitment into the police force, getting more operational assets into the police force. These are challenges that we all know. Vehicular assets are part of what they are needed. And under the FCT administration, we also support having such community groups, community vigilante groups also that can complement whatever the state actors, that the government security agencies are doing. Like under the FCT administration platform, which is www.myfcta.gov.ng. There's a portion there that we encourage under the citizen engagement. We encourage residents to have neighborhood associations. You know, this neighborhood association, when you form it, on that platform, on that what I've just spelled out now, on that platform, when you form it, you'll be able to relate with the drivers of FCT administration. They will know your challenges. They know where you have security issues and the rest, because all these things works in real time. You know, so FCT administration is encouraging such neighborhood platform engagement with the administration. So when you decide to form yourself into vigilante groups to ensuring that you complement whatever the security agencies are doing, remember, you should also go and make sure that the divisional police officer of that jurisdiction is aware of your existence. So that tomorrow somebody will not use that against even those of you that are trying to secure yourself. Because somebody might raise false alarm that I saw some people going around, they were suspect, they are kidnappers, and the agencies will come in and apprehend every one of you. So what we encourage are, as you form yourself into such group, make sure you carry along the divisional police officer of that jurisdiction. It helps better. It helps you to secure your community better also. So it's a welcome development.
So, but what should be the primary role of these groups? Should they be confrontational with the criminal elements, or they are only to serve as a source of intelligence for the conventional security?
They cannot be confrontational because you don't have the arms in carrying out that. We expect them to do more of intelligence gathering, what we call community policing. Community policing is to gather intelligence, actionable intelligence for the administration, for the security agencies to work with. I must tell you that even under the FCT administration, we have what we call layers. These layers are people that gather intelligence in the various communities. They are there and they are working hard. And they've been giving the administration and the security agencies credible intelligence that have assisted the administration in nipping on the bud planned attacks on communities. You know, so but we don't expect them to now be confrontational. But again, like I said, as you carry along the police formation within that environment, definitely they are going to give you armed policemen to always monitor what you are doing. And if there's any need for a reactive move, you know, they will be able to handle that, and not you risking yourself because you are not armed in doing that.
Before we let you go, as a security expert now, we want you to just give some tips that residents generally, or whosoever is watching, should keep to, especially with respect to keeping their homes safe, their loved ones safe, and by extension their community and the FCT in general. What are those tips that you should keep to?
Yes, I want to start with your personal security. Most people like to flaunt their wealth. especially those that have just made some money and the rest, in terms of the vehicle they drive, in terms of the building they live in terms of what they even discuss in the
or
open,
what they post on social
or what
media.
they post on social media. Because most of these attacks, these people too carry out their own surveillance and check your social media page and see what you are posting there. If today you post that you got a $5,000, tomorrow you posted that you went to Dubai and the rest, you are simply inviting abductors to come and visit you. You know, so we need to start living a low profile life.
Okay.
Don't, at times inside the vehicle somebody will be receiving phone call and he'll be saying, oh, that money is coming, yes, they will pay it into my account today, and we are going to do this, we are going to do that. You don't know the next person seated beside you. So we want you to start learning how to live a low profile life. Don't be extravagant, you know, out there. Then secondly, we also want you to have the relevant security agencies emergencies number, like the FCT police control room number, which is very important. I know ASO TV is going to display that.
Definitely.
You know. Then we also have the FCT call center number,
yes,
which is also a toll-free number. And one good thing is that the FCT administration, you know, the call center presently is this 11-digit number,
yes,
and people have been complaining about it. But the good thing is that the FCT administration is working on getting a 3-digit number that will be used for every form of emergency in FCT. And that will be easier for people to memorize. You don't even need to say it. If the number is 111, it's easier for me to remember 111,
or 112,
or 112, or 113, you know, depending on what. But I know in the next few weeks that number will be out.
Okay.
So we want you to have those emergency numbers, because most time you see something. If you see something, you need to say something. And also, again, know your neighbors. Most people in the various communities, even those living in the city center, most of us don't even know our neighbor.
True.
You need to start to know your neighbor and be conscious of strange faces within, because there's no way somebody will come and carry out abduction within your community without carrying out surveillance first.
True.
At least the surveillance will last for a minimum of 1 week, you know, from what we have seen so far, from confession from those suspects that have been arrested. So know your neighbor. When you see strange people within your community, raise alarm. If you are not comfortable, go and meet the police and say, I saw so and so man going so and so place. You know, these are little tips. Then again, situational awareness.
Okay.
When you see something, you just have to say something.
True.
Because security is everybody's responsibility. It's not only for the state actors alone. No. Every one of us must be involved in the security of FCT. But again, I want to assure the resident of FCT that the Honorable Minister, working with all the relevant security agencies, ensure I'll put on plans that these victims will be rescued rescued on hot.
Okay.
That is one thing I can assure them.
Okay.
And we want the abductors to know that the security agencies are closing in on them. They are closing in on them. They don't know that. Because, again, let us mind the type of discussion we have within our locality. Like I said, some of the suspects arrested, you know, who are into kidnapping the FCT, are residents within those communities.
Within the communities, you know, that they attack.
You know. So you don't know who is who. But FCT is safe. I can tell you that. Let us disregard what we see on social media. Okay. Social media is a good platform, but we realize that it has become a negative way of passing fear and apprehension in the mind of people. Most of the things we read on social media is not the correct version of what is on ground. You understand? Most people don't even go to verify anything. It's just copy and paste, copy and share. Doing copy and paste and copy and share creates more headache than solution. True. So let us mind misinformation and fake news. The way we share it. It helps a lot.
All right. I have to say a very sincere thank you to you, Dr. Peter Olumuji. We call him Dr. Sharp Sharp.
Sharp Sharp.
He is the Secretary, FCT Security Department Command and Control Center. We say a very sincere thank you to you for honoring our invitation to be on this segment today.
Thank you very much.
Of course, there you have it, residents. The security of FCT starts with you as a person. It doesn't matter who you are. The security of your home, of your neighborhood, of the entire territory, and even Nigeria starts with you. When you see something, say something. That's very, very important. When you see something, say something. There is no way, as he has said, that an attack will be carried out without a surveillance by the criminals in the first instance. During this process, you can actually spot them and you can make reports, and security agencies are always available to swing into action to ensure that that planned criminality doesn't even happen. And on this note, we will now go join the Investment Plus segment, where we'll go to listen to some financial tips to make us financially wiser. We will be right back after that segment for our next interview of the day. Do stay with us.